So this is Nirbhay, and in this video we're gonna see the complete setup and working of an Pritunl VPN server, where we will try to SSH into private EC2 deployed into private subnet by using a Pritunl client installed into our Windows system. Okay, so as you can see on my screen, there will be a VPC and there will be two subnets, that is one public subnet and a private subnet, and again there will be two route tables, that is one public route table and a private route table, and there will be an internet gateway for having internet access to our Pritunl VPN server, and later on we will be deploying a Pritunl VPN server on AWS Ubuntu Linux system, and we will be creating a private EC2 instance into a private subnet, and after that we will be installing an Pritunl VPN client into our Windows system, and by using this we will be connecting to our Pritunl VPN, and by using that we will SSH into this private EC2 instance. Okay, so if I show my screen, few are the setup that I have already configured. So as you can see, this is the VPC, okay, that I have already created with name demo VPC, and its CID range is 10.0.0.0/16. okay, and I have also created this public subnet as well as this private subnet. Okay, so if I go into the subnets, you can see I have created this public subnet with CID 10.0.0.0/24, and again a private subnet with CID 10.0.1.0/24, and I have created this internet gateway also that is attached to our VPC. So if I click on this internet gateway, you can see a demo IGW is created that is associated with our demo VPC. Okay, and I have also created this two route table, that is public route table and a private route table. So if I go into the route tables, you can see there is a public route table as well as a private route table. Okay, so if we see the subnet association, so this public route table is associated with our public subnet, and similarly our private route table is associated with our private subnet. Okay, and if we see its routes, so for public route tables in the route section, you can see I have added a routes toward the destination 00, and the target is our internet gateway, so that any resources deployed into our public subnet will have internet access. Okay, so assuming that this setup is clear, now we will be spinning up this Pritunl VPN server into our public subnet. Okay, so let I go to the console, and now I will be searching for EC2. Let I close this. Okay, so I will be clicking on this launch instance, and let I name it as Pritunl VPN server. Okay, and flavor I am selecting as Ubuntu. If I scroll down, instance type I am selecting as t2.micro only for testing purpose, and key pair I am selecting as test key. You can select any or you can create new one. Now I will be hitting on this edit option, and in which VPC we are going to deploy into our this VPC. So what was the name for that? It was our demo VPC. And which subnet I will be creating? So it is our public subnet. Okay, so I can select our public subnet. So it is already selected. I am enabling this auto assign public IP. Okay, so as it is our VPN server, so I need to select this. Or you can use a elastic IP also. Now in security group, let I name it as Pritunl SG, and description let it be anything, and in security group I am allowing few more ports. Okay, that is for HTTP, and source will be from anywhere. Okay, and again a security group rule, that is for HTTPS, and again the source will be from anywhere. So this is because we need to access to our Pritunl VPN server portal. Okay, so if you scroll down, like nothing we need to do, we need to just hit on this launch instance. So meanwhile it is launching our Pritunl VPN server. So let us quickly create this private EC2 instance also. Okay, so again I will be clicking on the instances. Let I clear this filter. So you can see our Pritunl VPN server is currently launching. So let I click on this launch instance. So I will name it as private EC2, and flavor I will be selecting again as Ubuntu only, and instance type again t2.micro. Key pair I am selecting as test key. You can either create other or you can select any existing one, and edit, and this time we are deploying into our demo VPC. So I will be selecting our demo VPC only, and our private subnet. Okay, as this time we are deploying into our private subnet. So I have made one changes, that is our CID for our subnet was 10.0.1.0/24, and auto assign public IP I am keeping as disable only. Okay, so let I name it as private let's see, and description, let it be anything, and SSH I am currently providing from anywhere only. Later on we need to change this, and I can simply hit on this launch instead. Okay, so now our both servers has been successfully created, and you can see our VPN server is currently in 2x2 check pass. So till now what we have done, we have launched our this Pritunl VPN server as well as our Private EC2 server. So let do a SSH to this Pritunl VPN server. So I will be simply hitting on this connect and directly. So okay, so now I have successfully logged into my Pritunl VPN server. Okay. So let I clear the screen. Okay, so let I first become a sudo user, that is with sudo su, and let I update it packages. So apt update, and I will upgrade it. So apt upgrade, and it will ask for yes or no. So I will passing as yes. So I will hit on enter. So it will take around a minute. Okay, so now our system is successfully updated and upgraded. Okay, so now to proceed with the next step, I have already created this document, and all the commands I will be sharing with you in the description of this video. So firstly, what we need to do, we need to add the Pritunl repository. Okay, so to add that, we need to use this command, that is from sudo t till eof. Okay, so I'm gonna simply copy it and again go to the console. So let I clear the screen, and I will simply paste that and fire the command. So this has done. Now we need to import the Pritunl signing key from the key server. So to do that, we need to again fire this command, copy again. Okay, so this shows it has been imported. So now the next step is, if this doesn't work, so there is an alternative step. If the key server is down, so you can get the signing key from the GitHub. Okay, if this step fails, okay, but this work, so you can skip this step. Okay, so I am skipping this step, and let's go to the step 3. Okay, that is add the MongoDB 6.0 repository. So to do this, we need to fire up this command and again copy. I will paste it, enter. Okay, so this has been done. Again go to, and the fourth step is import the MongoDB. Okay, so to do that, again copy this. Okay, so this has given okay, means it is successfully done. And fifth step is we need to update the packages list. Okay, so to do that, again we need to use this sudo apt update, or apt update will also do, as we are already a sudo user. So this is gonna update all the packages. Okay, so this is done, and this is optional to upgrade the all packages. So you can either do this or you can skip this also. So I am doing this. So this is not necessary, but if you want, you can do it. Okay, so this says nothing has been upgraded because I have already ran this command in the starting of this video only. So let's go back. So next step is disable UFW firewall. Okay, so this might create some conflicts while configuring. So this is again an optional if you want to run this, or either you can ignore this also. Okay, so I'm running this, copy. Okay, so I'm disabling my firewall. Okay, so the step 8 is install Pritunl and MongoDB. So basically it's install both VPN server and its database backend. So let I copy this command and go to the console and again fire the command. So this may take few seconds, around 30 to 40 seconds. Okay, so as you can see, this has been successfully completed. So the next step is we need to enable services to start at the boot. Okay, so what it does, it ensures that MongoDB and Pritunl runs automatically. So to do that, again copy this, go to console, pasting that. So this has done. It has created a systemd file for both. Okay, so that it should run at the start. And now in the step 10, we need to start the services immediately, and we will be checking its status. So which services? That is our MongoDB. So let I copy this, paste. Okay, next command, let I check its status, copy. So you can see both MongoDB database server and Pritunl daemon is active and running. Now we have successfully configured our Pritunl VPN server, but there are few things that is still pending. Okay, so to do that, let's go to our console and find the IP address of our Pritunl VPN server. Okay, so this is the IP address. Okay, so I'm gonna simply copy it and paste that in a new tab. So this will take you to page like this, and simply hit on this advanced and proceed. Now it is asking to enter a setup key. Okay, and it is also saying you can run this command to find that setup key. Okay, so I will simply copy this command and again go to the Pritunl server and fire this command. So I have already cleared my screen and enter. So it will provide you a key. So simply copy that and go to that page again and paste that setup key and click on save. Okay, so it is saying updating database. This can take several minutes, but it gets done in seconds. So again click on this advanced and proceed to, and now it is asking for a username and a password. Okay. So to get that, you need to run this command, that is sudo Pritunl default password. Okay, so to get default login credentials. So again go to the server and paste this command. Okay, so you can see it has provided that default username and a password. Okay, so let I copy that username and again go to the portal and paste that username, and similarly let I copy this password and again go to the portal and paste that and simply hit on this. So you can see we have successfully logged into our Pritunl dashboard. Okay, so now it is asking to give a username, so let I keep it as Pritunl only. It is asking to enter a password, so let I give a password, and it is saying your public address, and here public IPv6, so we don't have any public IPv6 address, so I will keep it as empty only, and console web port it is running on 443, and here it is asking for let's encrypt domain. Okay, so if you have already a domain, let's say vpn.abc.com, so you can enter that domain. Okay, and similarly that domain you can provide over here also, and you need to create a route into your hosted zone pointing towards this public IP of this EC2 instance. Okay, so once you provide that, you will be able to log in into this dashboard by using your own URL like vpn.abc.com. Okay, so as I don't have any, so I will be proceeding with like this only, and I will be simply hitting on this save. So now the next step is we need to create a server, and so I will be hitting on this servers and add server and server. So let I name it as Pritunl VPN. So now it is saying a port which is 14635. So this is the port for your VPN server. Okay, so you can either change it or you can keep it like this also. And here it is saying DNS server and virtual network. So this is the network. After connecting to this, your client will get address from this range. Okay, now it is asking to enable WireGuard. So this is the something that we are not doing in this video. So if you want me to create a video on using WireGuard, so just let me know in the comment section, so I will make a video on this. So now enable Google Authenticator. So if you want to use Google Authenticator now, so you can select this, but I am keeping it as it is only. So I will simply hit on add. Okay, so it has created a server for me. So you can see the start server option is kind of blurred out. Okay, so why? Because before starting, the server must have an organization attached. Okay, so now we need to create an organization. So now this time go to the users and you will be getting an option add organization. So simply hit on this and let I name it as demo or test org. So simply add. So now we have created our organization. So you can go to the servers and select that attach organization. So which organization? Our test organization. So you can simply hit on this attach. Now if I select on this start server, so this will get started, and you can see there is a port in which this VPN server is running. So we need to allow this port into our security group of our Pritunl VPN server. Okay. So let's go to our console and select our Pritunl VPN server and go to its security, and let I open in a new tab. So inbound and add rule, which type? A UDP type. Okay, and the port was 14635. So let I provide that port over here, and from source from anywhere IPv4. So let I name it as Pritunl VPN and click on the save. So now we have allowed this port into our security group of our Pritunl VPN server also. Okay, but to log in into this, we will require a user. Okay, so let's go to a user tab and click on add user. So let I name it as Nirbhay test. So organization is again test org. Email address you can provide any. So I am keeping currently as blank only. Pin let I give it as, and simply hit on add. Okay, so you can see a user has been created. So now to get some links, you can hit on this link, and if you want to connect via OpenVPN, so you can use this first two links. Okay, so this is gonna download a tar file for you or a zip file for you. Okay, or if you want to connect it via Pritunl client, so you can use this last URL, or to directly download its profile. So you can click on this click to download profile, and a profile will get downloaded with .tar. Okay, so you can see nirbhay.test.tar is get downloaded. Okay, so till now we have configured our whole Pritunl VPN server. Okay, so the next step is we need to make sure that private EC2 instance only allows SSH from this Pritunl VPN server only. Okay, so to do that, go to our console and select this private EC2 instance and click on this security and open its security in a new tab. So you can see it is currently allowing SSH from any source. Okay, so we have to change it. So click on this edit inbound, and from which source we have to allow communication from this our Pritunl VPN server. So select that Pritunl VPN server. So let I copy its private IP. Okay, and in that I will delete this and I will simply paste that by a /32 notation. So it is our Pritunl VPN server, and simply hit on save rules. So what this will be doing, our private EC2 instance will be allowing only SSH from our Pritunl VPN server only. Okay, so the next step is we need to download this Pritunl client into our system. So in order to get that client, you need to go to this URL. Okay, so let I copy this and again go here. Simply I will paste it. So this gonna open a page like this. So you need to simply hit on this install. Okay, and you will be finding different flavors. Okay, so if you are using a Ubuntu 24.04 system, so you can simply click on this and you need to fire up this command, and after that you will be getting a client installed into your system. Okay, similarly for 24.04, or if you are using a Mac based system, so you can download the package. Okay, as I am using a Windows system, so I can simply hit on this download installer. Okay, so this will be downloading an exe file for you, like pritunl.exe, and you need to just install that exe file by next and finish. Okay, so I have already downloaded that exe file. So if I run Pritunl, so you can see our app is already there. Okay, so this will look something like this. Okay, so now there is an option you can see, that is import. So what you need to import here is the user profile that you downloaded. Okay, so in my case it was this nearby-test.tar. Okay, so I need to import that. So I will be simply hitting on this import, and either you can connect by using that URL that I have told you by using this get temporary profile link, or either you can choose a profile. So I will simply hit on this browse and download, and I will be selecting that nearby test and open, and simply hit on this import. So you can see that currently the status is disconnected. Okay, so before clicking on this connect, so let I go and show you one more thing. Okay, so if I check my what is my IP address, so you can see my currently IP address is 157.15.251.225. So let I come back to again to the Pritunl page. Okay, so now this time I will be hitting on this connect. Okay, so this will ask a pin, so let I provide a pin and connect. Okay, so it is showing status as connected, and it is showing online for 6-8 seconds. Okay, so this means this has successfully connected, and it is showing client address as 192.168.227.2. Okay, so this is the client address. From here, if you go in the server, you can see this is the range from which your client will get address. So this has got the address from that only. Okay, and you can see the server address it got is as 43.205.195.127. Okay, so if I refresh this page, okay, so you can see my public IP has been changed. Okay, so let us temporarily disconnect this VPN. Okay, and try to SSH to our private EC2 instance. So this is the path where I have stored the PAN key for my private EC2 instance. Okay, so let I go to the console and this time select this private EC2 instance and try clicking on this connect and SSH, and let I copy this command. So again go to the page and right click and show more options, and I am opening in a git bash. So this is gonna open a terminal for me. So this is something that allows me to run Linux command. Okay, so you can download this git bash for your also. So if I do ll, you can see my PAN key is present. So if I paste that command, not copy it, paste, and if I try to SSH, so this will not connect because we are not into the range of this private EC2 instance, or we are not connected with the any other server that it has connectivity with it. So now if I connect this Pritunl VPN, so it is connecting. Okay, now it is online. So if I again run that command, so it is asking for yes or no. So let I give it as yes, and you can see I have successfully connected to my private EC2 instance. Okay, one more thing, you will be seeing why there is 0.0.0.0/0. Okay, so this is something, by using this VPN you can make communication to this IP ranges. So currently it is allowing for all. Okay, suppose there might be a specific requirement that by using this VPN you want to allow communication to specific VPC CID ranges or some specific subnet ranges only. Okay, so in that what you will do? Okay, so in that you can simply remove this route table. Okay, remove route, and so this is showing because cannot modify route while the server is online. Okay, so I need to stop this and click on remove. Okay, again click on this add route. So it is asking for network address. So to which network address we want to make communication with? Okay, so it is our private subnet. Okay, or you can directly provide your private EC2 server's IP also. Okay, so I am whitelisting its whole subnet. So private subnet, and you can find its CID range. So let I come here and let I paste that. Okay, so this is the private CID range for our private subnet. Okay, and let I click on attach. So what this will do, if you are connected to this VPN server, so this will allow you to make communication with this range only. Okay, so this was the range for our private subnet. Okay, so if I again go back and if I try to do LL, so this has completely put me out, so I need to again log in. So let I clear screen. So if I again run that command, okay, so this time also it should allow me. Okay, because it will not work because we have not started our server. So let I start my server. Okay, so this will get started, and again select our VPN client. So let I disconnect it and again reconnect it. So status is currently connecting and our server is also online. So if I go back and this time again if I run this command, so you can see it is now successfully connected to our private EC2 instance. So this was the example where our private subnet was in the same VPC. Okay, so there might be situation like your private server might be in the subnet of another VPC. Okay, so in that case you need to have that VPC pairing connection between two VPCs. Okay, so if you want a complete understanding, I will be putting a video over in the I section that you can watch on VPC pairing. Okay, so in that you need to provide that CID range for the other VPC. So after that you can have SSH connection to the private EC2 instance deployed into the another VPC into another subnet. Okay, so to summarize this whole video, we already had a VPC, a public subnet, a private subnet, an internet gateway that was associated with our VPC, and a public route table was there, a private route table which was associated, where public route table was associated with our public subnet, and similarly private route table was associated with our private subnet, and we added the route towards this internet gateway into the route of the public route table so that resources deployed into our public subnet will have internet access. Okay, and we launched our Pritunl VPN server into public subnet and a private EC2 into a private subnet, and we configured it by using its public IP, where we created users, we created servers, we created organization, attached that server with that organization, we created users, and later on we downloaded and we whitelisted this port into security group of our Pritunl VPN server, and similarly we whitelisted the Pritunl VPN's private IP into the SG of private EC2 instance, ensuring that it should only allow the SSH from this Pritunl VPN server. And after that we downloaded Pritunl client by using this URL, and we connected to our VPN server by using that tar file downloaded for our user. And we also seen that how to allow specific VPC CID range or specific subnet range to have access from your VPN. Okay, and later on we successfully connected to this private EC2 instance by using Pritunl client installed into our VPN server. If you find this video helpful, please give a like and subscribe to this channel, and if you have any doubts then feel free to comment in the comment section. Till now, bye.